Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Tanks. Going to be here doing a review of the, I suppose the premium Chinese Tier 8 medium tank. Is it? Is it like China? Oh no, because you've of course got the T-34-3. But anyway, yes, I'm going to be doing the review of the rarer of the two tanks, the 59 Patton. And what this tank is it's a development by the Chinese government of fitting a M48 Patton turret onto a Type 59 chassis and seeing how that went. So it does look a little bit odd, but let's have a look at it, shall we? So 1400 HP. Compared to the Panther 88, that isn't as much HP as this thing, which has got 1500 HP, which is a lot of HP for a medium tank, really. It's about level with an IS-3, and an IS-3 is a heavy tank. So that's got a lot of HP. The 59 Patton doesn't quite have as much, 1400, but it's level with the M4A1 Revaluis. It's also more than the Schwarzpanzer 58 or the Mutz, which is the direct comparison to this one. But so yeah, it doesn't have as much HP. However, it does have a fair amount of it has alright HP. Let's have a look quickly at, say, the Comet. How much HP does the Comet have? Preview that. Survivability with the upgraded turret, which we can't do. There we go. That comes up to a very small amount of HP. Then again, that's tier 7. Why am I looking at tier 7? I'm looking for the Centurion Mark 1. So the Centurion Mark 1 gets 1450 HP. So it doesn't have a lot of HP, but it has an alright amount of HP, in my opinion. The hull armor and the armor in general is alright. 100 frontal hull, 80, 45 at the rear, so it doesn't have a lot of rear or side armor, but then again, side scraping can be slightly effective in this tank, but I wouldn't count on it. But I mean, this does have a pretty good sloping on the Type 59 hull. So 100mm slope back at a pretty good angle means that you can ricochet lower penetration guns of sort of tier 6s or tier 7s off of your frontal armor if you're lucky. Then again, angling them around a corner like that is also going to be effective. Plus, the actual turret armor is alright, especially around the gun mantlet. This gun mantlet does absorb shots because it counts as spaced armor. If you have a look there, this is spaced armor. So it has got decent frontal armor for the gun mantlet, but the sides of it, although they are rounded, they're still not that great. It is, after all, just a medium tank, but I mean, the turret armor is alright. The front of it is decent, I guess, especially if you get to the sides. If they hit there, that'll be a ricochet. If they hit the gun mantlet, that will just clonk. It's like the Super Pershing in that regards. But the side turrets, 76 and 50, yep, they're easily penetrated. Plus, that's not counting if they're at least slightly smart, in which case they would aim for this, which is the machine gunner's turret at the top, and that'll just get penetrated straight through. It also means that this tank isn't very good at poking ridgelines, because there's the gun, all this space up is all what they'll see first, and they'll aim on that, and they'll shoot it first, and they'll hit it first, and then they'll pull that back into cover before you can hit them. So it does have that huge, great weak spot, which means that working ridgelines is maybe not that effective because of it. But the mobility of it is alright. It could be better. 36-ton tank with only a 520 horsepower engine, which means it only has a 14.18 horsepower per ton ratio. Gets up to an alright top speed of 50 with 20 reverse, but it's still not that great. The traverse speed, however, is pretty good, 48.9 degrees per second. Compared to the Panther, which gets a 700 horsepower engine for a 46-ton tank, goes at 46, and this is a more sort of slightly maybe more brawling tank, and the armor on this is also supposedly not that great. So yeah, they're both medium tanks in that regard. But I mean, it's slightly better at circle strafing and dogfighting than the Panthers, say. As for concealment, well, it's a pretty big target. I mean, here's this thing. Here's the IS-3. I mean, the IS-3 is of course a heavy tank, so it does have a bigger, bigger concealment. But then here's the M4A1. There's the 59 Patton. I mean, isn't that much in them. I mean, this thing's a lot taller, so it does have slightly worse concealment, but still, this is still a fairly large medium tank. Although compared to the Panther, I mean, the Panther is still also pretty large. So I mean, the camo rating's not that great compared to something like the Panzer, which has got a 15.8. So I mean, yeah, there's that. So yeah, concealment not that great. Does have a pretty decent radio, however. Well, 525 is not that great, but I mean, 100% crew, training, signal boosting, 603 meters, signal range. I mean, that's all right. 400 meters view range is perfectly fine, so that's good. And now we come to the firepower, and as for the firepower, this is a pretty good 90mm gun. It only has 8 rate of fire rounds per minute, which is not the quickest firing thing. For example, the 88 on the Panther 88 has got a 8.7 rate of fire rounds per minute. The Panzer has got, let's have a look. There we go, 7.5 rate of fire, so it's slightly lower, but still 8 rate of fire is not the quickest thing in the world. Does have pretty good penetration though, 190, 250 with heat. I think this gun gets actually, as it's premium round. Yep, indeed, high explosive anti-tank heat. 240 average damage, 90mm gun. Yeah, 0.36 dispersion. Not that accurate, but then again, not the most inaccurate thing in the world. 2.3 second aim time. But the thing that really makes this good is the firing on the move. The firing on the move is fantastic on this tank, hence why it's got a gun rammer for me, because this is one of the best tanks to fire on the move and hit things with, other than perhaps scout tanks, perhaps. But even so, this is just a laser. It'll just sort of beam in someone's direction and hit them, no matter where. Firing on the move is very successful, which means that you will hit a large percentage of your moving shots, which is very nice. Also, it's got very good gun depression, -9 degrees, which means that you can point down pretty effectively. Doesn't have great gun elevation, however, only 19. Turret traverse is pretty good, 45 degrees per second. 6.5 reload time, yeah, fairly slow. 9.3 rate of fire with 100% crew and a gun rammer, so I mean, that's at least good. 0.35 dispersion, aiming time 2.1 seconds, 2,225 DPM. So I mean, could be better, could be worse. I mean, Panther 88 has got a 6 second reload time, 2,400 rounds damage per minute. Sorry, 6.9 for the Panzer. But yeah, the big selling point of this tank is how good it is at firing on the move, because it really is very good at firing on the move. And I can't stress that enough, because that's really good. It carries 54 rounds as well, which is nice. That's a large amount of rounds, so that even if you do miss a couple, you still have a pretty large amount. As for consumables, yeah, small repair kit, first aid kit, fire extinguisher, yeah, fairly standard sort of thing. As for the equipment, I've gone with a gun rammer and a vertical stabilizer. You definitely want vertical stabilizer on this thing, because firing on the move is its big selling point. Improved vents is not a bad idea. Camo net, I would say no. Wet ammo rack in case your ammo keeps getting damaged. Enhanced suspension, you can be a barreling medium, especially firing on the move. You're supposed to keep this thing moving, otherwise they can aim on your big turret weak spots. So yeah, you may want to get that. Yeah. Spore liner, No, not really. The armor is decent for low caliber guns, but high caliber guns will just go straight through, and well, it's not good enough armor to protect from explosions. Something with good armor that this would benefit the small owner, like a KV5, that's something. But on this thing, nah. Binos, I would say no. Same thing with the Caminate, you're not going to be sitting still to set them up. Otherwise, if you get spotted, they can easily aim on your weak spot. Coastal Optics, you could do. Coastal Optics is always a nice thing to just chuck on. You don't really need the gun lane drive. It had 2.3 second aim time, is not the worst thing in the world. It's a sort of average aim time, as you would expect from most tank guns, so I mean, yeah, don't need that. Tanks filled with CO2 if you keep getting set on fire. Toolbox is always a nice thing to bung on, and then, of course, good at firing on the move, so definitely want the vertical stabilizer. As for the crew, I'm training Sixth Sense because that's the first thing that everyone always trains on their commander. But Eagle Eye, yeah, sure, see what damage you cause when you fire on the move and hit people. Jack of all trades, you could do. I don't see the point. Well, I mean, if you really don't have anything else to train on it, then sure, go Jack of all trades if you want. Recon is always useful. Mentor, nah, don't really need it. And then you've got the standard common skills. Then you've got the gunner. I'm training Deadeye, however, I probably should reset that. Go with Snapshot, which I think I shall. There you go. So, as for your gunner, very good at firing on the move, so you're definitely going to want Snapshot. There we go. So yeah, definitely want Snapshot on that. Increase the effectiveness of firing on the move. And then of course you'll want Deadeye on there, because Deadeye is always a very useful thing to have. Armor in case, if you really don't want to burn a repair kit on your gun. Designate target, you could do, yeah, it's alright. Makes the target visible for 2 more seconds. That could mean you could put off the shot that wins the game, you never know. And then you've got your common skills. And then you've got the driver, which I am going to reset his skill as well. There we go. Yeah, reset, there we go. Deleting what? But as for the skill, gonna want smooth ride. Improve accuracy when firing on the move again. You know, very good at firing on the move. Clutch braking is always nice, so yeah, go ahead, clutch braking if you want. Preventive maintenance in case you keep getting set on fire, there's that. Off-road driving reduces ground resistance when driving on soft and moderately soft terrain, that's always useful, definitely go with that. Probably going to help with firing on the move as well. Then you've got controlled impact, which you can ram things like light tanks, but I mean, actual ramming, I'd say, no, don't bother with it. And then you've got your common skills. Let's train up that. There we go. Yeah, excellent. And then you've got your radio operator. So you're going to want to go with signal boosting, because 525 signal range isn't that great. Tier 8, you want it higher really. So yeah, train signal boosting on him. Safe stowage is always useful. Increases ammo durability in case you keep getting ammo racked. So there's that. Adrenaline rush is always useful as well, and intuition is just a nice thing to have if you keep switching between AP and APCR. Sorry, AP and heat. Sorry. So I mean, that's if you keep switching between premium, non-premium. You won't really need to use premium on this tank that much, because 170 pen is all right for a medium tank, especially if you're sort of circle strafing people, so I mean there's that. And this guy is the loader, but he also doubles as the radio operator, which is why you've got the radio operator skills. So here's the radio operator. Relay, you could go relay after you've researched signal boosting, so I mean there's always that. Call for Vengeance, yeah, you could do if you really don't have anything else that you want to train. And then situational awareness is always nice, increase that view range. And then you've got your common skills. So overall, this is a very good medium tank at firing on the move, as I keep saying. And yeah, it's just a really good platform for just hitting faraway targets. If you're sort of, you could sort of play the role of the scout if you're feeling brave. because firing on the move, you'll be able to hit most of the things that you spot if your team doesn't hit them for you. So I mean, there's always that. So I mean, yeah. But overall, it's a pretty fun tank to drive around in. You know, the gun is pretty good. Does of course have the weak spot, and it may not be the most maneuverable thing, but it gets by. So yeah, the 59 Patton. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.